Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Hope you were able to check out the stream with Wreck to Riches earlier. We're bouncing around talking about so many different things in crypto. It was a great one. Definitely check it out. Well, if you're panicking right now about this dip, don't worry. These things happen. There's a couple more days of a lot of unstaking, some decent amount of inflation, and the volatility of crypto. So if you're new here, don't panic. Use these dips as buying opportunities. Do not sell into the fear. Always inverse trade your emotions. Shout out to Goo God. He's made that very clear. So today we got a special one with the dude. You know, I've been a huge fan of Element 280, and I keep saying 40% of the supply is burnt. And we looked earlier and we're almost at 47 now. So this thing is just flying. What a time to be in the ecosystem. So let me bring up the dude.
What is up? Man. I like what gets me so excited about Element 280 is what it's built on. You know, like we just added the pairs with Viper and X28, and like seeing people like the Morpheus pair, you know, jump up to like a 30K liquidity. Like what the success of E280 is built on, like the success of the ecosystem and the success of Titanx, which I'm bullish on, you know. So like it's beautiful to see everything unravel. Like as these new projects come out, it's supporting the ecosystem. We're adding the pairs, like I said, with them, and it's supporting E280. Like just round and round we go. I'm looking forward to the very near future. Despite what's going on in the charts today, man, like I'm not even worried. You know, like we were just talking about earlier, like the caliber of builders that are showing up to this ecosystem. Like we've got some legit stuff, you know, that's already here, that's coming soon. Like just fundamental analysis is super strong, you know, like we don't even need to worry about the charts right now. But yeah, you got Bitcoin pulled up there. Yeah, it's stealing the thunder right now, huh?
I mean, it is. It's crazy. And that's the thing. New people come in and they're like, oh man, you know, why is Bitcoin making new all-time highs and Titanx is going down? Like it must be a scam or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, people's emotions, they that are new, it really does get to you. But and this is how it is. I think this is the top for Bitcoin personally. I mean, it might not be, but I'm the only one I think out here saying that Bitcoin not going to go to 100,000. I think there's going to be some kind of black swan that happens with Japan, with Tether, with the 700 banks that are running at insolvencies right now. I think something's going to just happen in the meantime before Bitcoin can hit 100,000. And during its demise, I think other coins are going to start to shine and real DeFi. If Richard Hart can win this case and start to become a good guy and team up with Trump Jr. the sky is just the limit.
Yeah. To me, it's like my Bitcoin, I hold some Bitcoin, and like, that's a long-term play for me. Like I haven't been watching Bitcoin charts in like, I feel like the last like 2 years. Just it's a long-term play for me. Like I don't care what the local bottoms and tops are. Like what is the price of this going to be in 10 years from now? Like that's where my mindset is in my vision. You know, like right now, like I'm looking at, you know, Titanx, you know, like that's, you know, what I'm hyper focused on. You know, like Bitcoin, it'll do its thing in time. There's no doubt in my mind. So yeah,
exactly. And that's the thing. That's the best way to play crypto is have the long-term mindset.
oh yeah,
You know, just getting these opportunities. I mean, look at how long it feels like 200 day one, where I feel like day 280, day 369 just passed. Day 280 was now almost 100 days ago. The day one minting, it feels like forever ago. But at the time, you just can't think, man, this is 280 days is such a long time. And then when you claim your miners, you say, man, why didn't I do more? I wish I did more. So you completely shift, and it's crazy the mental toll it can play on you. So that's why I always advertise long-term thinking. Just get into stuff early, hold it, and don't do anything crazy, and just let time be your friend, not your enemy.
no doubt. Like timing the market is like, that is something I learned years ago, that like that's not for me. Like staring at charts and trying to buy the bottoms and sell the tops, and I really like the fundamental analysis. Like that's so much easier for me to digest and work through, and like just laddering in and out of positions, you know, DCA, like it's so much easier, like not having to find those tops and bottoms. What is up?
Let's freaking go. Welcome to the easy button.
Yeah.
Let's
We haven't even
go.
got
Can
there
be.
yet. Yeah. We're just talking about the general crypto markets right now.
Oh, really? Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How's the
Bitcoin
sound?
Bitcoin just hit 77,200.
Yeah.
That was the top right there, and then started to dump down. Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching the stock market, bro. The SPX, we're at over 6,000 now. I mean, this is insane. I was talking like a couple days ago, that like the 5,700 was kind of acting like resistance down here. We just blew right through it, dude. Like there is no signs of slowing down. Like this is wild.
Yeah.
Interesting to see when the Russell starts expanding, when we can see, okay, the whole market is into a bull run right now. That'd be nice. Instead of just having Bitcoin and the S&P do their thing.
What do you think? What do you? I mean, Bitcoin's got a top, right? Bitcoin just can't keep running here and making new all-time highs. Like it has to top at some point here.
Forever up, man. That's it.
Yeah. Up and to the right, baby.
And just demolish altcoins down and to the right, or down to the right forever.
I mean, my thoughts was it would break 100K in this cycle, but like I have nothing to back it up. Just a feeling, you know. Like I said, it really doesn't even matter to me because I'm likely not selling much Bitcoin. I might try to time the top a little bit, but I'm looking at what's the next 4-year cycle looking like. Like that's more important to me. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly, Rob. You're right. I mean, I think even if this is like the little local top and we pull back 20%, it's still gonna run next year at some point. Like I'm not saying I think we're gonna hit 100K, but not till late next year. But that's the thing, the long term, like yeah, you just hold it and it doesn't matter. You worry about the better projects that are launching, the opportunities right here. And that's how you win in crypto, when you can just move on to one thing and start focusing over here. And then over time, you got so much going on. Time's working for you. Your cryptos are working for you. And now you're making passive income. And that's the key.
I mean,
Amen.
if this is a proper bull flag that Bitcoin is making, then the measured move is about what, 110, 115 by April?
Seems doable to me.
Right? Doesn't seem out of the realm of possibilities at all.
So I'll try to put on the let's see the daily here. I mean, I don't use TradingView much, but I mean, yeah, I was looking at, yeah, there you go. It looks like a giant cup and handle, doesn't it? Over the last 3 years, you'd think so, right? So that moves, up to 120, but Does that happen now? Who knows? It doesn't even matter, bro. This is the opportunity right here. And all these projects right here. You can almost throw it. It's back to 2020. Just throw your dart at the board and just throw these projects on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Ignore the red on the day. But like zoom out is what I would have to say on any of these charts. Just zoom out.
Yeah, man.
You'll feel better.
Let's actually
I think it was Crypto Kindness. He said, "Yeah, looks like a perfect weekend to go out away from the computer, and I'll see you Monday." Right? And then it's so true, man. Sometimes you just gotta walk away.
Yeah, that chart right there says a lot. You know, that dip just looks like nothing compared to like where we've come from over the last few months.
I don't know that when all my I wish I swapped half of my day one 280 day miners when they all came out. I wish I swapped half of it into Dragon X, but you know, you live and you learn.
Hindsight's a bitch. Yeah.
It is. So, dude, we got what? How much time? What do we got to mint here? 17 hours, 16 hours, 38 minutes until the mint phase is over.
Yeah. I cannot wait for that most everybody in the Telegram is like cheering on that countdown timer because they all already have their position. They want that to close forever, and then we can really start to see like the effects of people burning NFTs and how your share. Yeah, exactly. The game's gonna begin after mint phase. Yeah.
Never thought that you could duct tape something like this on an NFT. I love it.
Yeah.
9,099. That'd be a cool supply.
Yeah, it's jumped up, you know, and there was a lot of speculation. A lot of people were like, there's going to be a lot of FOMO buying at the end. And
yes,
you know, I could go either way on it. I'm not sure, you know, what the market's going to do, but I'm still finding people like that are like, oh, I didn't, you know, I slept on this. And they're like just finding out what it's about. And they're like, oh, less than a day there. Let me check it out. Like I was just doing the stream with Titans of LP. And one of the guys was like unaware, you know, and immediately was like, oh, I got to get in on this. So
I was late to it as well. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I did saw it in the peripherals, and then you did the stream with Adam, and I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this shit. Yeah. Well done.
It's hard to keep up with, like, there's so much going on with Titan X. It's hard to keep up. And that's the whole reason we created Element 280 is like, it's hard to keep up. Now you can hold this, and holding Element 280 is like having a piece of every token in the ecosystem. Like it has an LP with every token. So as price goes up or down, which we've seen, Titan X is going down, the, you know, Element's responding to that. But you know, when it goes up, Element 280 goes up.
Yep. And you can just add liquidity for every token within the. That's insane.
Yeah. Just before the stream, we've added Viper and X28 to that. So we're trying to stay on top of it. Like as soon as these projects launch, you know, we want people to be able to add to the LPs on those. So. Oh, sweet.
What's up, Utah? You're up here. Yeah, you're up here. He's just audio only.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is up?
How's
it going?
Oh, man, it's going pretty good. But like I started this day with the intention of getting a particular task done, and I have yet to even start that day. It's like Titan X sucked me in, and now, you know, I'm watching streams and all this other shit, and you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How you guys
Story
doing?
of my life.
Trying to just stay focused. You know, like I was just having a call about Element 369 earlier. Like, we're definitely not rushing that to market. We just completed the second audit, and we're looking at doing a third audit. So that's going to take, you know, easily a week right there. So we're looking at around 2 weeks to launch that. But like I said, we'll launch it when we're ready. Like, we're not committing to a date. We'll launch it as soon as we feel like we're comfortable with it. But we definitely want user confidence. So we're just double checking everything, make sure everything's going to be butter smooth, just like all the other projects we've launched. So, yeah, I still feel like that's good timing. Like, you know, this minting will close here, you know, in 16 hours, and then we'll have 2 weeks to let the market, you know, see where, like, until now, like the market's really been hindered, I guess, because of minting, you know, like,
Yeah.
If the price goes up, then people just mint and sell down to it. So it's been basically pegged at this 1-to-1 ratio of tight necks this whole time. So now that minting closes, people can't do that, and we'll actually see like a true open market valuation of what they think Element 280 is worth. So I feel like that'll be nice to have like 2 weeks of that, and then we launch 369, and then we'll kick off the V2 buy and burn, and keep it rolling. So
I mean, technically, it should have a pretty decent market value, since it's represented by pretty much everything within the ecosystem. So logic would say people would price that in. Not financial advice.
I will say that the open market doesn't follow logic always.
That is so true. That is so true. Golly.
It's always stuck in my head. I've always picturing Eric saying the market's irrational. When Dragon X was trading below 1-to-1 value, people were like, this project's, you know, this is a trash project. It's failing. It's a fail. And then here we are. What's the ratio at now? Like 16-to-1 or something? Like,
pretty much.
But at one point it was like 0.9-to-1, and people are like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm like, well, the market is irrational sometimes.
Yep.
People lack vision
Yeah.
and patience. You know, what's the old saying? The impatient pay the patient.
Yeah.
You can dump whatever you want. You're going to be paying me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I have vision with E280. As soon as I dug into it, I was like, okay, I'm in love with this. Mint.
I think there's going to be quite a bit of NFT. Like, so we've seen each week a big run up of people minting before the payout, and then a big burn event after the payout. Like, a lot of people collect the rewards and then burn their NFT. Like, I don't think this week's going to be any different. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of people burning their NFTs right after this next payout in a couple of days. But they won't be able to remint, you know, like maybe there'll be a lot fewer burns. I don't know. I'm definitely going to be
last man standing ID. Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah. I don't know. Are there going to be a bunch? What do y'all think on burning?
I'm not selling one of mine. I have zero plans to. I'm just thinking, like, in the future, when people realize what these are, they're going to want them, and the secondary market price is going to be a lot. So, like, the only way I'll get rid of mine is probably I might sell, if I can maybe sell like a rare and recoup my entire investment from the 4.6 billion I put in, then maybe I'd sell one of the 4 I have. But other than that, no, like, I want the passive income on this for a long time. Like, once I saw what you started to do with the LPs everywhere, and then the manager here, like, this was a problem on Pulse Chain with certain projects. When you have greater than 4% tax in and out, you're paying 8%. Like, that might make some people second guess it. And then when UFO came along and said, oh, we can fix that here, no fees in the LP, it was kind of a game changer. So now the fact that I can just take my rewards here. I can batch claim everything, so I don't have to manually pay that fee for every single claim. Because I was worried about that. I was like, shit, I have these 5 commons? Am I going to end up having to go manually claim? No, I can just claim one time, collect all my rewards, and now I can just throw them right into an LP with any single project I want in the ecosystem, and just let it sit there. So it's double. It's brilliant for a certain thinking person like myself who's long term. I like passive income. I don't want to be moving stuff around. I want to find an asset and just put it to work, have it pay me consistently. Like, this is your dream come true. So I don't think people are in this project to just dump around. I think you've got long term minded people in this project. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
I pretty much think the same. Yeah, I think most people in Titan X ecosystem have a brain. And they know well enough that if you have 7 sources of passive income, you can retire. Well, there are a lot of those in the Titan X ecosystem. So if you position yourself correctly, you never know.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like taking your, like, that's to me one of the best ways to compound your position is taking your element tokens that you're getting from your NFT rewards and pairing that with whatever your favorite token is in the ecosystem. All that's doing is adding liquidity, and with increased liquidity increases arbitrage, and then with increased arbitrage increases the tax revenue. So now your NFT is earning more. Like, it's like, to me, that's the perfect circle as far as like compounding your position and increasing your rewards on your initial position. Like,
And pretty much taking sell pressure off the market. Because when people put their stuff in farms and in LPs, it's no sell pressure.
True. Yeah.
And
Dude, sorry, you talk. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. And the thing about that whole process that you just said is you don't have to sell anything. No selling required on any of that, right? Like, you don't have to sell anything. Just hold it and let the protocols do their thing and earn some passive income. No selling required. But I believe the people in this ecosystem are educated, but no matter where you go, there's cheats everywhere you turn. You know what I mean? They have no idea what they're holding. They see a little bit of profit, and they're just going to dump. Some will.
I mean, the profit taking, like, nobody can be mad at profit taking. There's a difference between like dumping your whole position. That to me is like cheating, like, whereas profit taking is like, yeah, let me take, 20% of what I got and, take profits on that and compound, another percentage. Like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely different strategies, but yeah, I there's no doubt that there are Jeets holding these NFTs. Like, that's why I'm like, I know people are gonna burn. Like, maybe prove me wrong. We'll see. We got.
I want them to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the funny part. Yeah, it's like that's good for the ecosystem. Yeah.
Right. It might be a short term little like red candle or setback, but in the long term, this benefits the remaining holders. And when you see that, so did you get this from like the arbitrage bot? Did you see that before Pulse Chain and the stuff that was going on over there with setting up all the different pools, and where on Pulse Chain guys have figured out ways to create $500 to $1,000 in volume with just our bots by taking a coin and pairing it up with 60 different coins?
No, Pulse Chain woke me up to that, no doubt. And like the evolution of it is like, you guys remember Safe Moon back in the day?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was supposed to be like the same idea where it was like, yeah, with this tax, we're going to burn this token and it's going to be up only. And that the missing step there is like, it requires users to buy and sell this token for that tax accumulation. And like this liquidity web idea that removes that requirement, because now arbitrage bots are doing those buys and sells for you. It's equalizing the price across all these liquidity pairs. So it doesn't require users buying and selling the token. Like it's an automatic thing now. And that's what really woke me up to it. Was like, because I thought Safe Moon like had a cool idea, and then obviously it fell to pieces. And then seeing the liquidity web and then and matching that with the taxes to support the ecosystem, I was like, now we're cooking. I really like that. And then I feel like Element 280 raises the game, because now you've got, instead of just reflections to everybody, it's only limited to NFT holders. And now you've got a limited position that's after these 28 days, that's capped, and those are the people that are going to get rewarded. And if you want to get in on that, now you got to buy it off the secondary market. It just adds a whole nother layer to the liquidity web, I think, where you're not ever getting diluted. You have your NFT and you forever have that percent of the share, and nobody can dilute you. To me, that's the next level evolution of liquidity webs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it really was eye-opening to me when Coach came on stream and walked me through a couple of the PTGC pairs that were created. And if you look, there wasn't a human that had bought or sold in over a month, and it was consistently doing hundreds of dollars in volume a day. So if you can replicate that across 100 different pools, it's next level.
Yeah. And then also with E280, we're keeping this concentrated in just the Titanx ecosystem. So we're still have our bonded LPs to where if Titanx does a 2x, we're getting that direct benefit of that 2x as well. As opposed to if we were, because people ask why not make a ETH pair or other pairs to increase that, because I mean, we still want to ride the volatility within the Titanx ecosystem specifically. So, yeah. And then,
is there a page that has all the pairs, all the different LP pairs?
No, I just have a watch list set on Deck Screener.
Yeah. Okay.
And that way, I can just click that specific watch list on Element 280, and it'll add up the total volume, 24-hour volume of all the pairs, and that's all I do.
Okay.
Let's see. And we're at 312K 24-hour volume right now. Which that's at 16% tax, that's quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are asking me sorry, go ahead.
Are the bots paying that? Do they care at all? Are they gonna say, "Oh shit, we're not gonna go do this. We're gonna go this other route," or do they just ignore all that? If they can make that nickel, they'll make that nickel.
Yeah. And we've shown on stream. I was showing a transaction yesterday. An arbitrage bot made $1, and in that process, they paid almost $100 in taxes. And so, they don't care. It's just a math equation to them. How much is the gas fee? How much are all the taxes? So what's the total cost? They don't care what Element 280 is. They don't care what Titanx. They don't care what any of those tokens, because it's all in one transaction. They started with ETH. They bought Titanx with the ETH. Then they bought Element 280 with that, paying the tax. And then they sold the E280 to HLX, and then sold the HLX to Titanx, sold the Titanx back to ETH, and in the process made $1. And through all of that, paid $100 in taxes. But they still made $1, and if they do that 1,000 times a day, that's $1,000, so they don't care. It's just a math problem, and they're just running scripts, so it's always scanning the blockchain, and it doesn't care what the token is. If there's $1 to be made, they're going to take it. So the question is will we see increased volume? I would assume so, going from 16% tax to 4%. that's going to allow them to have larger ROIs. So they're going to be able to make more trades, but they're paying less in tax. So, does that equate to more or less rewards for the NFT holder? We'll see very soon. It's all just speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the bot volume will pick up, but the question is will that equate to the same taxes that they're paying? Because they're paying a quarter of the tax that they're paying now.
Mhm.
So the bot volume would have to pick up 4x, I think, to equate to that. Again, I mean, I don't run any of these bots. It's open market. Like, all we can do is just wait and see. Very soon, we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, you'd
Yeah.
think in theory that the bots would be as 4 times as active,
Yeah,
and they'd be able to probably be more profitable. No,
right. Because instead of paying $100 in tax, now they're paying $25 in tax.
mm-hmm.
So yeah. There's I mean, there's no doubt there's going to be more volume. It's just a question of will it equate to the same. Again, we'll find out very soon. Yeah. And then, like as more projects come out and we add more LPs to the list, that's going to create more arbitrage opportunities. So, and then obviously, all of these LPs that we've got, those tokens, the LP tokens are burned, so they're locked forever on blockchain, and not just the taxes that they're paying, that they're also still paying the Uniswap fees, and those Uniswap fees are getting burned. So, and then with V2, they're auto compounded, so every trade, the liquidity gets bigger. So over time, the liquidity is going to grow on every single one of these pairs. We're adding new pairs with every project that launches. So I think just with that, we're going to see increased volume as time goes on.
I mean, a lot of people will be able to get out with less fees as they got in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So logically, you would say as soon as that goes lower, people will be incentivized to sell. That selling will incentivize other people to see an opportunity and start buying. So normally in this kind of situation, you will see a lot of volume, but the price technically goes sideways within a range. So yeah, I think you will see a lot of volume coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. And that, to answer your question, for me, yes, this is the extra bonus. If you're holding them liquid, which once I claim my rewards, it's the same thing as pretty much holding liquid tokens. So yeah, I don't want them sitting liquid when I can earn more on them. So I'm just waiting to reclaim my rewards again. So I don't want to do $400. I feel like it's not enough. Like when I go into LP pairs, I want to go in with at least $1,000 on each side. I feel like, but yeah, dude, right? Is there anything else there you would say for holding liquid?
No, I mean, like you're hoping for price appreciation. It's just like a regular token. Like, what's the point of holding Liquid Dragon X, right? Like, what are you holding it for? Same thing. Like, you're hoping for price appreciation. And if you want to make it work for you, then yeah, you can provide liquidity with Dragon X. So I would equate it to the same thing here. Like, holding the token, you're hoping for price appreciation. Because like, what else is there really? Except for, like you said, providing liquidity. To me, that's where I feel like the game's at. Like, I think the bonded liquidity in the Titan-X ecosystem that changed the game in liquidity providing for me, because your risk of a permanent loss is like cut in half by being in the ecosystem. Because providing liquidity on any of these pairs with Element, like if Titan-X does a 2x, your LP is going to do a 2x because both tokens you're LPing with is on top of Titan-X. So if Titan-X does a 2x, everything in the ecosystem automatically does a 2x. and so you're not getting any impermanent loss. And like that's like way back in the day when Uniswap, when they did their airdrop, I was like, hell yeah, I made a few $1,000s on that. And I was like so stoked. And I'm like, this is great. And I started providing LP. And I don't remember what pool it was. It was like ETH USD or something. And then I saw the impermanent loss. Like ETH does a 2x. Your other half of your pair is in a stable coin. It doesn't do a 2x. And now my LP didn't 2x because the other half of that pair was USD and it, stayed flat. And that's when I was like, oh, this is not for me. No thanks. Now, because now like you can make money on it, but you got to manage it. You got to keep your eyes on it. Whereas like in TitanX, like providing LP with TitanX HLX, like it doesn't matter if TitanX goes up or down, your LP is following with it. And that's when I was like, oh, light bulb moment. Like providing LP within the ecosystem is where it's at. Yeah. Why is there no? Come on, man. Do I have to answer that question?
I know. I said my guess is until Eden comes out safely, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We added it and then I removed it because like there's too much uncertainty with it, and there's clearly a migration that's going on right now. Like that's Lotus. They've said we're migrating to Eden. You can turn your Lotus in for Eden 1-for-1, or I'm not sure exactly how the conversion works, but I do know that they are basically migrating everything over to that. So we'll be happy to add Eden to the LP list once they launch. But to me, like Lotus, I don't know. We're going to let some uncertainty unfold first before we decide to re-add that or not. We'll see. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I think that's probably a smart idea, but it just sucks for Rain Man. But I think being paired with Volt, with Steve there, he's part of the Nexus wheel, right? With Volt and Viper and Lotus. So I think Eden, whatever it will be, I think that'll be a big help because Volt is just an absolute beast. I think Viper will probably do very similar. And I think that'll really help.
It's pulled in a lot of Dragon X, that's for sure. Like it's impressive.
Yes.
Yes. No question is too silly, but yes, every trade earns you fees. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that was one thing I really learned on Pulse Chain because I was during the bear market. I was trying to figure out, okay, if I create new pairs with these random coins, are they going to do anything? If I put them with Pulse Chain and is that the way to go? Just add into existing pairs. And I found out if you create random pairs that have no volume, you get chopped up so bad to a permanent loss. You need the volume in there, and you don't really want extreme volatility, especially if you don't have much volume. That was a good learning experience.
I mean, up or down, like you're earning trading fees, but it's still better if the price is going up, so you do want to be somewhat selective of your tokens because they can ultimately drag you down. Even if you're earning, tokens on the way, it's still dragging the token price down. There's no tax on NFT transfers, or there's no royalty fees. So selling it on your preferred marketplace, there's no royalty fees on that. The only tax is burning your NFT, and that tax is going to other NFT holders.
If you have a couple in a wallet, you can send them to. So basically, you can send if you have 3 in a wallet and you want to send one to your cousin or something. You don't know if you're going to get tapped. No, you can send it out to your cousin for enough. You'll be good to go.
Yep. And the rewards follow it. So if you have unclaimed rewards and you send it to your cousin can then immediately claim those rewards. So that's up to you if you want to claim before moving it or not. But it's not required. You're not going to lose any funds doing that. If you're like sending it to yourself, you don't have to do that.
Which pairs have the highest volume? I would guess that the Titan X, Dragon X, and Helios pairs would be my guess, but
Tink is actually the winner right now, surprisingly.
really,
There must be a lot of price movement on Tink. Traditionally, like I've been watching it the whole 28 days, and like number one has been Titan X, like by a long shot. It's got the most liquidity. It's got generally most of the arbitrage bots are running in or out of that pair to create the arbitrage, so it has gotten quite a bit. And then Dragon X has been up at the top of the list. Yeah, HLX is up there because a lot of people have added liquidity to it. So, but they're all pretty close. Pretty close.
what is the plan for the $1 million that are in the buy and burn at the moment?
Nope. So we saw that there's quite a few tokens that weren't getting pushed through. Like Awesome X has got like a huge balance. So we slowed everything else down except for these other. There's like 4 pairs that we left open to try to kind of catch up. But I mean, the plan is at this point to just kind of let it. We definitely pulled it back as far as the interval. It was running super hot, and we just cooled it off a little bit, so to extend the runway on it. We would like to have something in there all the way up for the E369 launch, because once that launches, we'll have our V2 buy and burn. And those will run side by side for a little while until V1 runs out. But I think it'll run for a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, it's all the bonded liquidity, man. If you're paired up with everything in the ecosystem's going down, it's just a cascade effect.
Yeah.
Once the pair you're bonds with goes down, I mean, Dragon X down 18%. Titan X down 15. When you have leverage plays on those two, you get both. You get advantages and disadvantages. When Baby Dragon X outperforms Dragon X 25x, you love it. But then when the opposite happens, when dips come, Dragon X only falls down 10%. Baby Dragon X now falls 40%. So the leverage on these swings both ways. So when you have red days, the leverage coins will drop more. Green days, the leverage coins might pump a little bit more, but it's that's my guess too. And people could just be panicking and just getting out for something. Like there's so many different reasons for it. I mean,
yeah, I wonder if people are like selling to get into Viper today. I wonder if that affected anything.
I'm sure.
Which is like great. Like you wanna pay 16% tax, go right ahead. And sell to go catch the next thing. I mean, if they're making money, then more power to them. And then that creates the win-win situation. Like they're exiting their position to go make money, and the people that stay are getting rewarded for it. So that's really the whole design, is like short-term and long-term players both win. So staying there for many days, will bots still be trading across different pairs? It's all a math problem, like if there's $40 to be made and the transaction fee costs $39, they're gonna take it. They don't care that they're paying a $39 transaction fee. They're still making $1 in profit. So it's all just a math problem. If transaction fees are more expensive, then the price difference between the pairs will have to be just slightly greater for them to be a profitable equalizer. But it's not going to change the fact that our bots are still running. Yeah,
that's a good point too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, there's everything long term. How I know, how for myself, I tell myself everything's going to be fine. I just look at the stats. We're still in the minting phase, and if you had told me we'd be at nearly 50% burned, 46.66% of the supply of the element tokens are burnt during mint phase, I wouldn't have believed it. I don't think I would have said the max we're probably going to get to is 25%.
Yeah.
That would have been my gut a month ago.
Right.
So that's an insane stat. And
Yeah, I
just
don't.
as when you have red days like this and it goes down more than the other coins, when the green days come and all the buy and burns and the ETH is being used and the supplies are completely out and all these guys are rinsed out, you're going to see the same thing happen to the upside on these projects. So it all ebbs and flows, but that's why you got to just be in this for the long term, because these short term noises happen. But if you look at all these things here, you could point out horrible scenarios for the charts, why these happen. But if you zoom back out, everything looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That single digit liquid percentage is like, I guess I didn't really know what to expect to see, like, well, how much would stay liquid, but like being in the single digits this entire time has been amazing to see. Like where does it go in the future? I don't know. Maybe it stays around there, like, because if the price goes up, maybe more people burn their NFTs, and then that creates more tokens liquid. Like it. I don't know. It'll probably be like a push and pull type of situation. Yeah.
I mean, bro, you're gonna almost 20 trillion Titan X. That's crazy.
But our like my goal was to create something that would pull in 10 trillion. That was when I was ready to launch. I was like, man, it would be awesome to pull in 10 trillion. Like Helios is still at like 6.5 trillion or something. And it could still pull in more. It could still get to the 20 mark, but yeah, we're about to break 18. I was like, dude, that's sick. Yeah.
Helios, man. That's when people are sleeping on Helios too. Like, if you guys haven't watched Chris from the Versus short videos about E280 and Helios, go watch those. They're really good. If you need some hopium, go check those out.
Some FOMO, yeah.
I mean, so there's less than 1 million in liquid tokens, and go look at our treasury and see like how much, like, we have more in our treasury than there is in liquid HLX. Like, I don't know. You you decide how that could affect it. Like,
yeah.
We're still in discussions on how we want to utilize all these tokens. We've got lots of ideas, and no doubt it's going to support staking and burning of HLX. No doubt. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Any wrong. Any E69 out. But I honestly don't know much about E369 at all.
It's not a new token. We didn't feel like there was a need for a new token, so we didn't do that. So this 369 is going to be the easy button for Flux. Like, holding the 369 NFT is going to allow you to be in the Flux auctions daily automatically. And then it's also going to automatically compound your position. 30% of that gets compounded automatically. And then your payouts are coming in E280, Inferno, and Flux. And the idea is like, it also burns E280 and Inferno. So if you're an E280 NFT holder, we're calling E369 the expansion pack. Like, if you're already an E280 holder and you mint an E369 NFT, you're supporting yourself in that situation, because it's going to help. It's going to be burning E280, and two, you're going to be getting more in rewards in E280. And then obviously, like, it's in the Flux Inferno ecosystem. So you're going to be earning, again, Inferno, which is a cap supply deflationary, and then Flux as well, because that's what we're utilizing. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's really gonna support E280 in that sense quite a bit. Is there an easy way to see which NFTs are still alive, not burned? I mean, that stats page right there that we're on, that's showing what's in existence. Am I
That's what
reading that
thought.
wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say you just go to the, maybe you know about the stats page here. They're there.
Yeah. Which is
Well,
it's
Scott,
going up.
a lot-
People are minting NFTs as we speak.
There'll be a pillar on Helios. Oof. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that on stream. He was just talking about it. And gold. But gold, since they have V2 LPs, it's gonna have to require a little additional work. But that was kind of my thought, was like, if you're launching like 8 pillars, why not make it 15 at that point? You know, like there's no competition because every pillar has a different input token. You know, like Viper is not going to be competing with gold because you need Dragon X for Viper and you need E280 for gold. So why not? You know, and I think he agrees. He just wants to like be diligent about it. You know, like he's, you know, he at first he was like, yeah, we're launching like 8 pillars all at once, and now he's like, well, maybe let's be a little safer about it. Let's slow down. Let's do one every few days or whatever. Like, so I think he stepped back, and I think it makes sense. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. There's no need to be in a rush. Like, but I would love to see over the next 2 months, like 15 pillars get launched. Like, I think that's doable. You know. But yeah, I need to talk to Steve. He was saying we need to talk in DMs about a few things. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
I would like to add how bullish E369 is for Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because not only does it have its own little buy and burn for Inferno, but Flux burns a lot of Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
So when Flux gets rolling, and I believe this is going to kickstart Flux big time, along with Phoenix coming out, right, which is also going to kickstart Flux. And so now you're getting the buy and burn from Flux, and you're getting the buy and burn from E369 on Inferno, which is capped. And the burns that are already running on Inferno right now, E280 for sure, is doing some damage to that supply. So this is very bullish for Inferno, and I love Inferno. So here we go, and I love E280, and I'm holding both. So am I going into E369? Yes, I am, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I can't find
pointing
the
out, Flux sends Titan X to the HLX treasury as well to get locked up. So another roundabout way of supporting us, supporting them while they support us. It's a beautiful synergy going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
I see
thought the
this
next
comment,
I thought Volvo's in here.
and I see this comment about pillar for Alien X, which I don't know, but it threw a light bulb off in my head too, because now, you know, the Alien X buy and burn is in Inferno.
Yep.
So as Inferno price appreciates, you're growing the value of that buy and burn for Alien X. So it's also very bullish for Alien X. It's amazing to be in this ecosystem because everything's helping everything one way or another, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we got the Alien X element LP rolling. And now that one's what we've seen in the past, and this one's going to be no different. Like when you got 2 tax tokens paired together, you are going to see a little bit diminished in volume because now instead of just 4%, or theirs is 2.08, now it's going to be a total of 6.08% to make that trade. So, but again, our bots don't care. They will still make those trades when it's profitable, even with the increased tax. It's just going to see a little bit less because you can make the same trade on a different pair without that extra tax. So
E280's got a pillar. Yeah. I want to say that Zion, he has 10 of them, and I think Morpheus was the last one he built one for. With Zion, I believe. I'm trying to find the graphic. He had one somewhere that showed them all, but I can't find. There's so many tweets you can't go back and find them. That's a problem.
I think he's changed it up a few times. Like I think at this point he is interested in launching a pillar on pretty much everything.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
12 pillars as of, well, that's old though. That's November 2nd. So yeah, things are changing. Yeah. Steve's the man.
Yeah.
He's
already having to modify the contract for E280 because it's a V2 LP. So I don't see why, if he's going through that kind of work, I don't see why he wouldn't add an Alien X one as well, because Alien X is on V2 pools. So like at that point, like why not? It'll be easier to add. So yeah. And I think they were asking, are we going to add an element pair with all the pillars? And yes, we are. Yeah, we've already added Viper. We've already added X28. Those both came out today. We'll stay on top of it. As soon as these new protocols launch, we'll add LPs for sure. Yeah, and good God knows liquidity is king. That's where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And this is what makes me pisses me off that my Pulse Chain maxi friends are like, bro, no, Titan X, man, I'm just not sold on it. There's always something wrong, and it's like, bro, that's the same thing we've faced with Hex. Oh, wasn't that the same problem we dealt with Richard 2 years ago? Wait, wasn't that the same thing that just happened with what's his face? It's the same thing. It's the same community. So much stuff that's being built right now here came from stuff that happened on Pulse Chain and was built over there. And it's like, I just wish people could see that and we could all just get along. This is so crazy that Jake's hated by the Pulse Chain community and building on Titan X, you're traitors. Like, come on, it's so bad.
Nah, you guys and Pulsar, y'all have a big Pulse Chain background, and I hope y'all can help bridge that gap, and bring more people into the light. They're like, why are we being toxic on one or the other? Like, why can't we hold both tokens? What's wrong with having Titan X and Pulse Chain in the same wallet, man? Come on, guys. Yeah. What are we tripping about?
Where else do you see that in real life? Could you imagine owning let's say a Ferrari and then going into fist fight with people that own Lamborghinis? It literally makes no sense whatsoever. Can't I just own both of them, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. I definitely need to share that out and definitely support it, because that's the stuff that needs to happen. I'm glad Cabana can do that, because he's going to take a lot of shit for that. He's going to lose some followers for that. And that's, I think, a lot of the problem too, is these guys don't want to lose followers and they care about their numbers. It's like, come on, put that aside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange to me, so I wasn't in early Hexican whatsoever. I started buying, in the bear. But I got Hex and I got Hex stakes and I got Pulse Chain. I'm holding all this stuff, and what I really like about Titan X is the community and how we started it in the very beginning. Like, we weren't having it, like we weren't doing that kind of stuff, and it wasn't going to be tolerated. And we kind of cultured this environment to the best that we could in the early days, because it's not attractive. I saw what happened over there and I was like, you know what? This is bad. This is so bad. Who wants to participate in this? And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, and I know that it's not everybody, but you want the environment to be helpful. You want the environment to be, where we can get along and we can help each other and all this. And it's not attractive if it's not that. And it made me not want to interact, right? Like you're walking on eggshells. I was afraid to say anything, because I was going to get kicked in the balls for some reason, and we don't want that. That's not attractive.
Yeah.
And I know the bear market brings out the worst in people and things like that, but if we can keep this going over here, and I think we can, because the builders are helping each other. So like the examples are being set by us, by people building on these protocols. We're all helping each other. You see somebody streaming, you're a founder of another token. If you're available, you jump on stream with them and talk about whatever they're talking about. It's, at the end of the day. And I think that is all because Jake set the example as far as everything being paired with Titan X, which, when you set those ethos, a lot of times, I mean, I know for me, a lot of times I don't realize why certain things are done the way they're done until later down the road. It takes me a while, I guess, to catch on. But had he not set the ethos, then of everything being paired with Titan X, maybe it might not be this culture. I don't know, but I mean, it's beautiful to see people getting along here and everybody helping everybody. And I just absolutely love it. And I feel at home here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's try to keep it that way. Yeah, I agree.
That's completely my style. That's what I love about Titan X is like, even if you're not directly supporting another protocol, which almost every one of these in the ecosystem is directly supporting somebody else, you're indirectly supporting everybody in the ecosystem by just burning or locking up some Titan X. Like, that's all you got to do. It's an easy mission that supports everybody. And as more people show up and we keep locking it up, I mean, hyperdeflation, it's here.
Yeah.
There's no more supply coming out. I mean, just a few trickles at this point, and then it's dropping off a cliff.
Insane.
Yep. Lead by example. Build good stuff. People will follow you, incentivize them. They'll come. And I think the next step was taking this to real life, to where we go to consensus and we have a huge neon green booth there. All of us are all there representing our own projects, but we should all make sure we're all decked out in neon green and just represent the community. And if we just showed up out of the blue, it's the same people that go to consensus every year, the same projects, the people you start to get to know each other after the third, fourth, fifth year. If we just showed up out of the blue and just took over with neon green everywhere and aliens and build on Titan X, dragons, that's the next step. That's what I'm going to really try to do with, all of us are going to do with the Titan party. I think that's how we take our community and make a huge splash in person.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be fun. Are you guys targeting the next the 2-year anniversary? I guess, is that kind of what you guys are thinking on that, as far as the party?
I'm honest. No, honestly, before then, we want to try to have it launch maybe January 1st is probably the goal, around there. And then the first major, I would say, of Bitcoin Miami, ETH Denver, consensus, one of those big conferences that's, March, April, May next year. I think that's where we're going to target, and then incentivize the projects to, hey, if you come here, we'll pay for this, or we'll pay for all the stuff. You just slap the merch down and show up, and everything else is paid for. We want to make sure that enough money gets put away for the conference for budget so we can do stuff properly. Make sure Jake is there, Eric is there. We have a social media presence there, a film crew there. So we really want to do it right. So there's going to be a lot of thoughts got to go into it. So this can't be rushed, or it could be a disaster. But if it's done the right way, this could really bring the whole ecosystem to the next level.
Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, my dog wants to play with me. He's annoying. Aw.
Huge respect to dude for E280 and a lot of
Hell
money.
yeah.
Thanks for your project already. Can you share your thoughts on reward payouts and how they can affect the charts?
Yeah, I had people ask me, like, is it not just going to be sell pressure every week when people claim their rewards? And that's possible. You know, again, I can't predict the future. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. But my thoughts is like, those rewards have to come from somewhere, and that's coming from the tax. And so it's only like as people buy and sell this token, the token is deflating and the price floor slowly rises. So even if there is a sell-off every week, I feel like, you know, Monday through Saturday, it's going to slowly go up, and then you have another dip down to weekly sell-offs. And then Monday through Saturday, it slowly creeps up, and then maybe another dip. That's just I have no idea what the open market's going to do. I have no control of it. But the point is like, these rewards aren't coming from inflation. It's not like we're minting tokens to pay out users. And we've seen what a chart looks like when the supply is just inflating constantly and paying out users. That's not what this is. This is a deflationary supply. Tokens are being burned on every transaction. So even if users are dumping their rewards every week, like, we're still deflating, you know, like, it's still, that price floor is still going up because of that burn mechanism. And then like, factor in, we've got 3 projects already in the pipeline to build on E280. Like, we've seen what that can do for a token. And Element 369 doesn't even have its own token, so that it could put more value into E280 directly, and Inferno. Like, I think that's a bullish aspect to it, is like, we didn't need another token. Let's just support what's already there. So, and then Element Gold, or Volt Gold, I guess is what it's called. Like, we'll see, you know, how is Dragon X affected, you know, like, how we're seeing tons of Dragon X getting sucked up into Viper right now. Like, is Volt Gold going to be any different? I don't know, you know, but it's going to be another use case. It's going to suck up more of the supply off the market. And then stacks, man, I've been holding off on getting bullish on it, like, and talking about it. But it's getting closer and closer now. And like, I'm getting more and more excited. And Utah and we can start teasing the community a little bit more as time goes by.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been extremely difficult to not talk too much, but I just want to be respectful, you know what I mean, to the other stuff launching. But yeah. I'm super excited about it, and you know, it's a diamond hand play, and diamond handers will be rewarded in this play for sure. Mm-hmm. And man, I'm extremely excited about it, you know. And like, you build the protocol you want to participate in, right? Isn't that what you say, dude?
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me, man. Like, to me, it's a dream. You know, as a user, it's a dream. So I'm super excited about it. But yeah, we just let everything roll out and give everybody their day in the sun, and just know we're cooking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm already putting some Titan X to the side. Like, okay, I got that for over here for that. You know, I don't want to get caught off guard and be like, oh, I don't have any Titan X. So like, yeah, I'm already prepping. Yeah. So yeah, to answer Vanilla's question, there's 3 currently in progress. We've got E369, Stacks, and Volt Gold, and not in that order. We're not sure. Nothing's got launch dates set, so we'll let the chips fall as they do.
Good stuff, bro. That
Sounds
this
good.
it just keeps getting better and better. And this isn't like the Amoeb coin where you're just like, all right, let's get in and have a huge pump and like rush out. Like this, for me, is passive income for the next 5-6 years. Like that's how I'm thinking about this. So I'm not even worried about it at all. The short-term price noise, like it's so far not even relevant to me. Like once I understood the project and I can see, oh my God, half the supply is already gone. And there's a 4% tax on here. People are going to start to take profits, and inevitably, even if everyone sells all the rewards for here on out, we are going to get pulled up by the pairs that we're bonded with. So inevitably, our rewards are going to be worth more and more in USD value in the future. So to me, like I'm not worried about anything. This is something that, like I said, I'm holding for 5-6 years easily, and it is what it is. Certain projects are like that, others aren't.
If your NFTs were 10x, you still holding?
I said I'll sell one of them maybe to recoup everything back and make some profit, but I won't sell the other ones. Like it's just why? Like you're selling your future short. At what point is like, okay, I'll take this hit and miss out on these rewards. Like in 10 years from now, if this stuff is all still up and running, like could you imagine if you got into some protocol early in like 2011 that did this with Bitcoin and was just paying you back Bitcoin forever? That was in this huge pool that they started 10 years ago. Like just the things that can happen here, man. So I'm not going to be that person.
if it 10x's, then your reward always also 10x's, no? So why would you? If it can keep this up, I'll take it. Why would you sell it?
Yeah, but when it's like when your NFT is worth a house or something, like you're like, I know people are gonna see that. They're gonna see a pile of tokens and they're gonna want to burn. They're like, yeah, I know I'm getting good rewards, but like I could buy that Lambo right now. I could just burn this NFT and buy a Lambo. Like, you don't think people are gonna do that? Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that say they're diamond hands, but when it comes down to it, I think they're gonna be sweating bullets trying not to push that burn.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking that these rares are worth houses, then if it's life changing like that, then maybe sell a couple. But at that point, I would say, look at what I got into it for. Like it cost me pretty much nothing. So why? What's the point when I can constantly have that asset and earn off of it? Like you're going to sell it for cash, or whatever. Now you have an asset that does nothing for you. So I don't know.
I mean, depending on the dollar amount, I mean, everything's on the table at a certain point, right? But I do have, but I have multiples of these different ones, in case that situation arises. But, I've shared before, my son turned 18 back in September, and he's my youngest. So, yeah, I'm kind of an old man. But anyway, I got him set up, for his 18th birthday. He got the laptop. He got the wallet. He got all that. That was his 18th birthday present, right? And then I had him set it all up while I watched him and helped him. We did his seed words and we do all this stuff, right? And this might not be the most exciting 18th birthday present you could get, but this could definitely benefit in the long run. And he grasps the concept, but he's not, I don't know, he's more of a cowboy kid. He hunts fishes and things like that, you know what I mean? And horses and stuff like that. And he's not really into crypto, but he's gonna be now. And so anyway, I got him I got him 3 rares, and I sent him to his wallet, and the deal's gonna be like, okay, these are yours and you can do what you want with them, but I would highly recommend only ever selling one of these in the next 5 years. And he's young and he may need that money for a down payment on a house, the way that the economy and stuff like that is going. So if he needs to get rid of one to do that, then do it. Whatever you got to do.
I
But
feel like that puts him in a good position though, where like he's not sitting on a screen looking at the payouts and the charts and all that. Like he's out there living life, and that's where it's like, yeah, he can just set it and forget it, and then come back a few years later and be like, oh sweet, it's paid out this much or whatever. Like I think it's a lot harder for the people like me that sit in front of a screen every day and like see I'm checking the value of my portfolios and like I'm doing like this is my life, so
Yeah.
I think those people out there touching grass, it's going to be a lot easier for them to diamond hand. Yeah.
And that this forces him to like, he doesn't understand crypto now. He likes hunting outdoor stuff. Once he starts seeing the value, the money that this starts accumulating, he'll probably become a little bit more interested and be like, let me look into this a little more. How does this work? So it'll almost force him into crypto because it'll be generating so much money. Hopefully.
Yeah. I showed him my vault bag, and I got in early on vault, right? And I showed him what it's worth, and I showed him about a week ago, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, I could sell that right now for that much money, and I'm not gonna because we're just getting started on this bull run and that." And he's like, "Dad," I was like, "I know, bro. I've been trying to tell you for the last 2 years that your old man's got something going on over here, and I think I stumbled onto something very big." I said, "But don't worry, it moved." One thing about crypto, it goes up way faster than you ever thought it could, and it goes down way faster than you're in more than you think it can, right?
Yeah.
So it's very volatile, but yeah, I think I got his attention. He's like, "It takes me a year." He works full time. He's like, "It takes me a year to earn that much money." I was like, "I know, bro. I've been working my ass off for 35 years. This is why I'm here."
Yeah.
So
if
they got rid of, go ahead, dude.
I was just gonna say, it looks like Goo God's looking to get adopted. If you're open to it.
Oh man, that's fun. I totally forgot what I was going to say now. That just totally made me laugh so hard.
Goo God's a stud, man. Love that dude. I remember when I never knew who he was, at all. And he just came in the Inferno Telegram one day, and he just started going off. Like, wanted to set up some bots for raiding tweets and all this other stuff. I was like, I don't know, who is this guy? And Bad Sports knew him, and I was like, okay, cool. Bad Sports speaks for you. And he's like, I need admin privileges. I need to do this and that. And I was like, what's going on right now? Let him go. And him and Verse, him and Chris, I should say, and Trey, have always been huge supporters of Inferno, and the energy is contagious. And I love what they're doing. And I love what they're doing with Alien X also.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 100%. Goo God is the man, and Alien X is a great project, and I like what he's doing with Enki and Alien on Pulse Chain. I think people do not understand what those projects are and how they work, and I'm super excited. I know when they start to move and people say, "Oh my God, this thing pays me P-Dye and a Tropa and Teddy," like people are gonna start to get excited. I think so. He's just ahead of his time.
Yeah, we just recently added the LP with Giannis and Inky. So extending that liquidity web. So yeah, I was happy to get that going, and to like meet Goo God. I didn't know who he was until recently, and I was like, oh, and he's in this and that, and now I see him everywhere. I'm like, dude, this guy's he's connected.
Oh yeah, he's once Goo God comes around your circle, he doesn't leave, because he's like, once you find good people like that, it's like, all right, we found our group. Like, I'm not looking up, like, we're here now.
You can't unsee him now, right?
I'm just waiting for this to say Gugod, the utility Titan X conservative maxi, former degenerate. All right, guys, we've been going for an hour, 20 minutes. I'm about to wrap it up here. I think the dude just dropped tons of alpha. I'm super excited for E369. Everything else coming on top. We got 18 more hours or 17 left. So if you guys haven't minted an NFT, definitely go check them out. I think your future self would thank you, and your future self would smack you in the face if you turn this opportunity down.
Facts.
Yeah.
So,
my bad. I was just gonna say, I appreciate you having me on. I enjoy the chat. Yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. Like the minting phase is about to close shop forever. So after this, it's only if you want to get in, you got to come in off the market. You got to buy and you got to buy off one of these diamond hands, and we'll see what kind of prices they set on the marketplace for these NFTs. That'll be another thing I didn't think about watching was like the NFT market, like what people are buying and selling these for. Yeah, that'll be fun to watch. Lots of stats, man. I'm excited for the next phase where we hit straight deflation on top of deflation with Titan X. Like, let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Smash that like button for all 80 you watching right now. How funny is that? What a perfect time to cut it. What a sync. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.